Peace and power elevation be to all the beautiful people out there. This your girl Tiffany coming through here live in effect. And I want to greet y'all in the word Assalamu alaikum, Rahmatullah. For those of you that are celebrating Easter, Ramadan Mubarak to all of you that's fasting. Shout out to you guys. I know you guys are enjoying your family or whatnot. So today's topic, I'm going to be talking about the 5 pillars of Islam, which is Shahada and Tawhid. Okay, so Shahada deals with the declaration, meaning that you declare that God is the only God and his last prophet is Muhammad, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I'm going to be talking about the Tawhid, which means, monotheism and the concept of declaring one God. All right. So make sure you guys subscribe and hit the notification bell, share the channel, like the channel, all that great stuff, and tune in and look into my other contents on here. All right. Make sure you subscribe, like the channel, share the channel, and all that great stuff. All right. Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. We're going to get into it. Okay. So this is going to be a very short video. Okay. So I won't be on here no longer than maybe 20 minutes. All right. So real fast. What is the Shahada? So, okay, as you can see, this is the Arabic writing, the calligraphy. All right, so Shahada is the testimony, also translated as Shahada. It's an Islamic oath, one of the 5 pillars of Islam and part of the Adhan. It reads, I bear witness there is no deity but God, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. So the Shahada declares belief in oneness, which is Tawhid, and God, Allah, and the acceptance of Muhammad as the God's messenger. And some Shias also include a statement of the belief that Wayalat of Ali, a single honest recitation of the Shahada, is all that required for a person to become a Muslim according to most traditional schools. Okay? So as you can see, it says, La ilaha illallah, there is no deity but God, Muhammad Rasulullah, which means Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Okay. All right. And it said, Ashandu la ilaha illallah, Ashandu ain't no Muhammad Rasulullah. I bear witness there is no deity but God, and I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. All right. So and then they got the Shia version, which is Alayum Waliyum La. Ali, the vicegerent of God, resulting in Ashandu la ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah and Alayhi wa liu Allah. Right, and it goes on to say, I bear witness that there is no deity but God. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God, and I bear witness that Ali is the virgin of God. All right. So going down in Sunni Islam, the Shahada has 2 parts, La ilaha illallah and Muhammad Rasulullah, which are sometimes referred to as the first Shahada and the second Shahada. The first statement of the Shahada is also known as Talil. In Shia Islam, the Shahada also has a 3rd part, a phrase concerning Ali, the first Shia Islam, and the 4th Rashid Caliph of Sunni Islam. Okay, and which translate Ali is the Wali of God. However, the Nazarati Ismaili Shia community, which has a present and living Imam, the Shahada contains an affirmation of their beliefs in their first Shia Imam Ali and their present 49th Shia Imam Aga Khan the 4th. Thus, the 3rd and 4th part of the Shahada for the Nazarati Ismailis are Wa Aliyah Amarulu Momini Alullahu. All right. Ali is the commander of the Muslim. Ali is of God. While Mulana Shah Karim al Hassani al Imam al Azhar al Mujid, which means Mulana Shah Karim al Huzani is the Imam who is manifest and living present respectively. Okay. So it goes on to say in the Quran, the first statement of the Shahada takes the form La ilaha illallah, Allahu la ilaha illallahu. All right. And it says it appears in a shorter form in many places. It appears in these form about 30 times in the Quran and never attached with other parts of the Shahada in Sunni or Shia Islam in conjunction with another name. Okay, so Islam monotheistic nature is reflected in the sentence of the Shahada, which declares belief in oneness of God and that He is the only an entity truly worthy of worship. The second sentence of the Shahada in case that means by which God has offered guidance to humans. The verse reminds Muslims that they accept not only the prophecy of Muhammad, but also the long line of prophets who preceded him. While the first part is seen as cosmetic truth, the second is specific to Islam, as it is understood that the members of the older Abrahamic religions do not view Muhammad as their prophets. Okay, so the Shahada is a statement of both ritual and worship. All right, in a well-known hadith, Muhammad defines Islam as witnessing that there is no God but God, and that Muhammad is God and messenger, giving alms, performing the ritual prayer, fasting during the month of Ramadan, and making a pilgrimage to the Kaaba. The five pillars of Islam are inherent in this declaration of faith. Okay. All right, so now you get all of that. So let's go down to Sufism. In Sufism, the Shahada has been traditionally recited in the Sufi ceremony of Dhikr, remembrance, a ritual that resembles mantras found in many other religious traditions. During the ceremony, the Shahada may be repeated thousands of times, sometimes in short form of the first phrase where the word Allah, God, is replaced by Huwa. The chanting of the Shahada sometimes provides a rhythmic background for singing. Okay. So in architecture and art, the Shahada appears as an architectural element in Islamic buildings around the world, such as those in Jerusalem, Cairo, and Istanbul. Late medieval and Renaissance European arts display fascination with Middle Eastern motifs in general, and Arabic script in particular, as indicated by its use without concern for its content in painting, architecture, and book illustration. In his General triptych, the Italian Renaissance artist Masachiko copied the full Shahada written backwards on the halo of the Madonna. Oh, all right. So as you can see, you can also see the Shahada is found on some Islamic flags. Wahhabis have used the Shahada on their flag since the 18th century. In 1902, Ibn Saud, leader of the House of Saud and the future founder of Saudi Arabia, added a sword to this flag. The martyr flag of Saudi Arabia was introduced in 1973. The flag of Somaliland has horizontal stripes of green, white, and red, with the Shahada inscribed in white on the green strip. Between 1997 and 2001, and since their reestablishment in 2021, the Taliban have utilized a white flag with the Shahada inscribed in black as their flag of their Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan. The various jihadist black flags used by Islamic insurgents since the 2000s have often followed this example. The Shahada written on a green-black background has been used by supporters of Hamas since about 2000. The 2004 draft constitution of Afghanistan proposed a flag featuring the Shahada in white script, centered on a red background. In 2006, the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant designed its flag using the Shahada phrase written in the white on the black background. The font used is supposedly similar to the font used as a seal of original letters written on Muhammad's behalf. All right, so now here's the interesting things about these flags, right? Most of the Islamic flags, they have the color red, black, and green. Okay, so now we use red, black, and green for, Pan-Africanism, right? And sometimes there's a gold, but the red, black, and green in the Islamic culture represents the Pan-Islamism as well. So you will see that, and you see that in a lot of African countries. They have red, black, and green, not just only represent Pan-Africanism, but also represent Pan-Islamism, because those countries practice Islam as well. Okay, but let's continue. All right, so as you can see, these are the different artworks, beautiful artworks. Okay. As you see, the Kabbalah of Fatimid Caliph Mostaniz Bilal in Mosque of Ibn Tulun in Cairo. Okay, in the first phrase of the Shahada in Kufitic calligraphy in Kashan, Iran. The testimony of faith inscribed as calligraphy on the top of the Babu Salam gate of the Topkapi Palace, Istanbul, Turkey. All right. So Shia Shahada on the mausoleum of Atta of Nasapar, Iran. That's beautiful. All these beautiful artworks. Very beautiful. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So let's go on to the next one about the Tawhid. Okay. What is the Tawhid? So the Tawhid is the unification or oneness of God as per Islam. Also romanticized as Tawhid or Tawhid. Is the indivisible oneness concept of monotheism in Islam. Tawhid is the religion central and the single most important concept upon which a Muslim entire religious adherent rests. It unequivocally holds that God, as per Islam, is one and single. All right. The Tawhid constitutes the foremost article of the Muslim profession of the Shahada. The Islamic declaration of faith is the declaration of the beliefs in the oneness of God. To attribute divinity to anything or anyone else is shirk or an unpardonable sin according to the Quran if repentance is not sought afterward. Muslim majority of the Islamic teachings rest on the principle of Tawhid. Okay, so from an Islamic standpoint, there is an uncompromised monotheism at the heart of the Islamic beliefs, which is seen as distinguishing Islam from the other major religions. Moreover, Tawhid requires Muslims not only avoid worshiping multiple gods, but also to rely for money, social status, or egoism. Okay. The Quran asserted the existence of a single and absolute truth that transcends the world in a unique, independent, and indivisible being who is independent of the entire creation. God rather than a local, tribal, or parochial one. God is an absolute who integrates all affirmative values and brooks no evil. Islamic intellectual history can be understood as gradual unfolding of the manner in which successive generation of believers have understood the meaning and implication of prophecy. Islamic scholars have different approaches towards understanding it. Islamic theology, jurisprudence, philosophy, Sufism, even to some degree, the Islamic understanding of natural sciences all seek to explain at some level the principle of Tawhid. The classical definition of Tawhid was limited to declaring or preferring belief in one God and the unity of God. Although the monotheistic definition has persisted into modern Arabic, is now more generally used to connote unification, union, combination, fusion, standardization, regularization, consolidation, amalgamation, and merger. All right. That kind of sounds like going further. So to me, this sounds more like the concept of Spinoza God. So Spinoza God operate from the concept of pantheism. Okay, so he feel like God is everything. God is the universe. All is one with God. Okay, so when you study pantheism, that means all is one with God. All right, so in a way, if you kind of read the Tawhid, that's kind of like sort of like the pantheism concept, but it uses the scriptures, right? The religious holy texts, such as the Quran and the Hadith, to explain its position. But as you can see when they talk about the unification of God, that in a sense can be described as Spinoza God or as pantheism in a sense. I mean, that's the way I'm understanding. That's the way I'm seeing it. All right, so all right, so let's go down here to where it says discern the unity of God. Hassan Nazir Ali, the first Imam, Shia view, and the fourth Rashid Khalif, is credited with having established Islamic theology. His quotation contain the first rational proof among Muslims of the unity of God. At least states that God is one means that God is away from likeness and numeration, and he is not divisible even in imagination. The first step of religion is to accept and understand, realize him as the Lord. The correct form of belief in his unity is to realize that he is so absolutely pure and above nature that nothing can be added to or subtracted from his being. That is one. There is no difference between his person and his attributes, and his attributes or his attributes should not be differentiating or distinguished from his person. Okay. Now, it says Vincent J. Cornell, a scholar, quotes the following statement from Ali. To know God is to know his oneness. To say that God is one has four meanings. Two of them are false and two of them correct. As for the two meaning that are false, one is that a person should say God is one and be thinking a number and counting. This is false because that which has no second cannot enter into the category of number. Do you not see that those who say God is a third of a trinity fall into this infidelity? Another meaning is to say so and so is one of his people, namely a species of this genius or a member of this species. This meaning is also false when God, because it implies liking something to God, whereas God is above all likeness. As to the two meanings that are correct when applied to God, one is that it should be said that God is one in the sense that there is no limits to him among things. Another one is to say that God is one in the sense that there is no multiplicity or division conceivable in him, neither outwardly nor in the mind nor in the imagination. God alone possesses such a unity. All right, so I will come back to this later about the argument for the oneness of God. So as you can see, they got different categories. God is the causes of causes. God is the necessity existent, right? Indivisibility of God's sovereignty. Other arguments, theological viewpoints. Okay, so it goes into a lot of that stuff. All right, but as you can see, these are the references and the sources at the bottom of the page. So whatever you want to check out, you can go ahead and check out for yourself. All right. All right, so we got a book right here. It's called the Kitab At-Tawhid or Tawhid. Kitab At-Tawhid, the Book of Monotheism by Sheikh-ul-Islam Muhammad bin Abdul-Wahhab. All right. Let's go down to number 17 real fast. Okay, so number 17. At-Tawhid, the oneness of Allah. Allah the Almighty said, and I, Allah, created not the jinn and men except they should worship me. And he stated that, and verily we have sent amongst every ummah a messenger, worship Allah alone and avoid to keep away from Tawhid, all false deities. Do not worship Tawhid besides Allah. And he said, and your Lord has decreed that you worship none but him, and that you be dutiful to your parents. If one of them or both of them attain old age in your life, say not to them a word of disrespect, nor shout at them, but address them in terms of honor, and lower unto them the wing of submission and humility through mercy, and say, my Lord bestowed on them your mercy, as they did bring me up when I was small. All right. So in a sense, it's like some form of hadith. That's what I'm looking at. It's like a hadith here. All right. But yeah, this is called the Kitab At-Tawhid, the Book of Monotheism. All right. So I'll put that in the description section. And this one is called The Virtue of the Shahada by Dr. Falaah bin Ismaa'eel Mundakaar. Okay. All right, so let me go to the first page. All right, so right here where it says the Shahada is a protection for one's life and wealth from the sword of Islam. Okay. It says, indeed, the messenger, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, had clarified to us that he has been commanded to fight against the people until they utter this statement, Kalima, and if they do so, then their lives, blood, and wealth will be protected. This is because this statement is that which causes a person to enter into Islam and exit from disbelief. And it goes on to say, and having Iman in the heart alone does not guarantee this protection or interest into the fold of Islam, nor it is sufficient to merely utter this kalima with the tongue. However, the affair with Allah and does not cease with merely expressing the word. One must have knowledge of its meaning and establish its prerequisites in belief, statement, and action. So he pronounced it with the tongue. Then he believes that the meaning of it, none has the right to be worshipped in truth except Allah. Okay. And it says, meaning that he affirms worship for Allah alone and he frees himself from the false deities and he negates any association or similitude for Allah, the mighty and majestic in his lordship. His action, name, and attributes and his profession in his sole right to be worshipped along with both beliefs and affirmation. Then he actualizes and establishes the condition of the Shahada by carrying out its requirements from acts of obedience, salat, zakat, fasting, and hajj, as well as the rest of those things which Allah the Most High has commanded. For all of this is from the rights of the Shahada. Okay, so the name of this book is called The Virtue of Shahada by Dr. Falaah bin Ismaa'eel Mundakaar. Okay. Right. All right. So I'll be sure to post that in the description link when I get done. But I just wanted to take the time out to do this video about Shahada and Tawhid. So I hope everybody, or for those who are watching, got something out this video. I thank you guys for tuning in. So make sure you guys enjoy your Ramadan. Make sure you guys fast in peace. And if you're out there celebrating Easter, for those of you that are non-Muslim or not fasting, you celebrate Easter with your family. Shout out to you. Peace to y'all. Happy Easter to y'all, and peace and power and elevation to the rest of you guys. So thank y'all for y'all support. Make sure you subscribe, like the channel, hit the notification bell, share the channel, all that great stuff. Until then, this your girl Tiffany, and I'm logging off and say peace, deuces, power, and elevation. All right.